Here we are, a week removed from the end of Peacemaker Season 2, and oh my god, guys, like, all of those scenes that are still in my mind from this landmark series that James Gunn touted as the most important thing in the DCU, like, I just honestly can't shake the feeling of first seeing that, well, or what about when Peacemaker walked through the door and, yeah, he went to that idyllic Earth X where there were no black people anywhere. That was really interesting decision to make. It's like, okay, cool, you can have a utopia if you just get rid of all the minorities. James, what are you trying to say out there? But yeah, honestly, like, all jokes aside, nobody's talking about this series. Everybody who was still watching it and thought that it was decent flipped on that series finale. And now we have heard over the past week that James Gunn's position over there at Warner Brothers is not quite as firm as he would like to tell you that it is. Mostly because now we have a bunch of the Access Media trades coming out and starting to run some box office numbers. Like, you had Forbes take down Superman earlier. You had Variety and Deadline and The Hollywood Reporter come out and blatantly announce that movies like One Battle After Another is on track to lose $100 million. So now, and especially with like nothing coming out for about a month of note, at least hitting the cinemas, there's going to be a lot of articles out there bemoaning the state of Hollywood, both on the silver screen and the small screen. And so when you have a Peacemaker star, James Gunn's wife, worried the series end means the cast are never going to be together again in this iteration. Oh no, that sucks. Is that kind of an admission that Peacemaker Season 3 isn't going to be happening, and that also all of these trash holdover characters from the old DCEU, because that's when Peacemaker Season 1 was taking place, when the EU was still established, sort of, kind of, that we're just going to be cutting that off? Interesting. Or maybe there's another reason why they're never all going to be together in the same room again. But yeah, so the series run now officially at an end. Peacemaker star Jennifer Holland is feeling a bit afraid that Gunn's plans to continue its story across the larger DCU will lead to a permanent breakup, not just of the 11th Street kids, but the larger Checkmate family. Yo, those are words, I guess. I don't know. Despite the series closing on a number of massive cliffhangers, including the future of a newly established Checkmate spy agency. Theoretically, without Amanda Waller, like, what the fuck are we doing? A Peacemaker stranding on the Sanctuary prison planet, and Argus moving on their plans to send the DCU other metahumans to join him. Gunn disconfirmed any plans for more Peacemaker during a recent press event held in the aftermath of the series finale. Per a recap provided by IGN, when asked by a member of the press pool, point blank, if there was going to be a Season 3, Gunn asserted, this is about the wider DCU and other stories in which this will play out right now, so that doesn't mean that there won't be. I don't want to say never. I don't want to never say never, but right now, no, this is about the future of the DCU. Yo, what a politician answer if I've ever heard one before. Holy shit, man. I have plans for Keith, he continued. I just haven't figured out exactly how that's all going to work out. So I have to make sure I can do it. It's hard with the interdimensional hopping stuff. Bro, you wrote that in there. Like, that's your fault. To make these things come together in the way that I'd like. So I have what I would like to happen with Keith, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to make sure it'll work. Like, I haven't done that with any of your other DC projects. Like, anyways, you'll definitely see Checkmate carrying through. Okay, they're a thing now, so they're part of what's going to happen, and I think they're going to be really, really good at what they do. So when we see them next, I think their circumstances will be a little bit different than the startup that they're at now. Oh, good. Okay, good. He wants to keep the group that was established so his wife can continue to get a paycheck from Warner Brothers. That's going to end up carrying through. I'm so glad that's going to happen. But here's the thing, man, where you're totally uncommittal to the continuation of the Peacemaker series, and in fact, you're more negative on its continuation as opposed to its continuation. Like, if this was a series, okay, that everybody was talking about, that was being viewed by the world over, your trepidation for the continuation of this story wouldn't be a thing. You would be more than willing to go forward. And during the latter stage of the series, as it was coming out, we were looking at the different Nielsen ratings, Samba TV ratings, all of the different trackers that were out there, and we're failing to notice that, where's Peacemaker on that? This is a big budget, high profile series from a quote unquote hot property right now. Because, hey man, everybody in the Access Media loves the DCU. Why isn't anybody watching Peacemaker? Oh, that's because nobody was watching Peacemaker. Peacemaker Season 2 suffers a major ratings drop as nearly 40% of viewers tune out. Oh, no, but the first episode is up 22% from the series finale. Can we get into those numbers? No, shut up. James Gunn's Peacemaker Season 2 is facing serious audience erosion, with multiple analytic sources confirming a steep decline in ratings across the season. What began as a promising follow-up to the acclaimed first season has quickly turned into one of the biggest rating slides the DCU property on streaming. According to Samba TV data, the Peacemaker Season 2 premiere initially outperformed Season 1's finale ratings by roughly 22%, drawing strong curiosity from DC fans fresh off the theatrical release of Superman. Oh, and that's why we had to hustle it onto streaming so that more people could check out your streaming show. Interesting decision. Who were, yes, eager to see how the series would connect to Gunn's wider DC Universe reboot. And then they figured out that, oh, okay, cool, you go from this quote-unquote happy, optimistic, stupid movie to a vulgar, nihilistic, stupid series. So I guess we can see one through line there as to what to expect with the DCU moving forward, but it's not enough to maintain people's curiosity, apparently. By the end of its run, however, viewership had fallen dramatically. Samba TV's 4-day measurement period for the Season 2 finale showed approximately 435,000 U.S. households, down 39% from the Season 2 premiere, 713,000. Yeah, see, look at those numbers. That's trash. Absolute fucking garbage, and 25.5% lower than the Season 1 finale. Oh no, you ended up snuffing out all of those gains. That's tough, man. That's tough. Despite solid anticipation going in. Really? Season 2 failed to appear on the Nielsen Top 10 ratings for streaming originals at any point during its release window. Yup. Independent tracking by Samba indicated that by episode 4, the series had slipped to around 16th overall among streaming originals. But to be fair, guys, it was facing stiff competition like Alien Earth, whatever. The decline suggests limited staying power behind its dedicated fan base. Yeah, because there's a lot of James Gunn suck-offs out there, but outside of that, yeah, like nobody likes this shit. And highlights that while Peacemaker continues to receive positive critical notices, oh my god, it's the best performing DCU product on Rotten Tomatoes, and that means fuck all. Mainstream engagement has dropped sharply compared to other superhero fare like DC's Penguin. Yeah, and it's admissions like that is definitely going to make 2027, if James Gunn is even still around at that point in time, awfully important when you have the next James Gunn movie contrasted with the Batman Part 2. Critics continue to review the second season favorably, with Rotten Tomatoes listing scores above 95%, yet audience sentiment has been more divided, with a 42% score on Criticless. Viewers cited inconsistent pacing, a lack of clear resolution, tonal clashes between drama and satire. Season 2 finale, titled Full Nelson, currently sits at 6.7 on IMDb. Oof, the lowest rating for any episode to date. Because, yeah, you had James Gunn come out and say, oh, guys, there's going to be so many keys to Jangle. We're going to have all of those characters that you know. You're going to have so many member berries out here. And then when that didn't happen, all of the people that were like, where's my dopamine fix? They ended up not being satiated. So then they ended up turning on the product. Oh, well. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Gunn publicly responded to the criticism, telling Games Radar that he loved the... I love the episode. I don't care if you don't. But understands not everybody does. Oh my god. The way he talks is infinitely infuriating. Like, I like it. I don't care if you guys do. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're wasting millions of dollars of Warner Brothers money. Genuinely. They're a stupid fucking company. But you're doing that for your own gratification? The fuck are we doing? An acknowledgement that even supporters of the first season found the new tone and structure less compelling. Yeah, man. The future of the DC projects, if Peacemaker Season 2 is anything to go by, there could be quote-unquote strong initial interest, because you had, like a pretty strong domestic opening for Superman. You had a pretty decent, in contrast, viewership for the debut episode of Season 2 for Peacemaker. But the longer the stories go on, the closer they get to conclusion, everything starts to fall apart. How very telling. And now that there's going to be a desert of DC content coming out, and all there is just simply negative coverage going on, oh, that hot seat is going to continue to get even more sweaty for James Gunn. And, well, we're going to have to see how he's going to be able to handle this type of stress, because this is a guy who is a lot more accustomed to getting praise. And whenever he ends up getting a little bit of critique, oh, yeah, we see how he crashes out like a 5-year-old. So I just wonder how many scenes in Man of Tomorrow are going to have monkeys typing on social media about ratings decline and international box office. We know he's that petty. It's totally likely to happen. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.